The FireKeepers Casino 400, the NASCAR race at Michigan, the race where you have the Canadian national anthem alongside the American national anthem at the start of the race. And, well, we didn't get qualifying, the race got rained out on Sunday, and we ended up with a, albeit very fun, Monday middle of the day race. So in this video we're going to have a little bit of a look at the story of the race, and then from there on we're going to just get a couple of different reflections for it. So the first stage was largely defined by the rain delay that delayed the start of the race, and then by the time we got to stage 2, what ended up stopping the race for the Sunday and brought us through to a Monday race. And, well, I think the biggest headline from the first stage was probably the spin for Denny Hamlin when he was behind his own driver, Bubba Wallace, because it was so severe in terms of the damage that was caused to the car that he was struggling for the rest of the day. And I think they started at the back when we resumed on the Monday because they wanted to spend more time repairing the car. But either way, it was a good start for Wallace and Buescher in terms of their playoff eligibility, and a good run for Kyle Busch, who then ended up topping stage 2. At the end of stage 2 we had our big one for the day, which we saw Buescher and Wallace both caught up in. Both managed to keep going. Logano was out, but yeah, it wasn't great for either of their bids given that Chastain was second, though he would falter later on in the race. Kyle Busch looked like he was in a position to win his way in, which he is must win at this point. I mean, looking at the standings afterwards, which we'll get on to in a bit, he is 108 points below the cut line. So it is pretty much must win, or some kind of divine intervention. But either way, having another look at the race and the final stage, it ended up coming down to who was pitting when. Part of the reason why Busch and Chastain were up at the front was because they didn't pit towards the end of the stage and we had the caution. And so when it came to the restarts, well, Busch ended up getting... Well, he didn't lose too much, did he? And then when the last pit window came through, he ended up back towards the front end of the field. So much so that when we got a caution, again for contact involving Ricky Stenhouse that took us to overtime, he ends up in a position to claim a top 5. I mean, it's not only the fact that Kyle Busch managed to claim a top 5, but Ty Gibbs looked like he was in with a shout of winning, which would have helped him secure his way into the playoffs. And it would have helped me with my predictions because I said he'd make the round of 12 and get 1 win on the season. But, yeah, in the end, Tyler Reddick ended up holding off William Byron by... Well, it looked closer at the end of it all, but he was a good few car lengths clear, and because it's not a circuit that you brake at, he couldn't get run over. But, yeah, Reddick, Byron, Gibbs, Busch, and then Brad Keselowski rounded out the top 5 with Buescher in 6th, helping him a little bit with that kind of recovery drive. Chastain got caught up in a wreck and ends up fair old bit down the order, 25th. Bubba Wallace was 26th on the day, both of them a lap down at the end of the race. But probably the other story is the incident between Logan Gregson and Corey LaJoie, which saw LaJoie's Chevy flip end over end without even hitting the grass. Now, how that happened, don't know. It looked like he almost launched himself off of the 10 with the interruption of air. It was a windy track. That's the thing, it was dry, but it was a lot windier when it restarted today. So the question is there an issue with the next gen that it's more prone to having a flip in conditions like these? Because the car's built to not flip. Like, pretty much designed so that it wouldn't blow over. And here we saw it blow over. But good to see he was able to get out of the car under his own steam. In terms of the playoff picture, now Cindric is still under appeal. at the moment because of the incident at the end of Richmond. I believe that's meant to be heard this week. But what we do see for the Cup Series playoffs is that battle on the bubble has gotten even closer now. So Busher is 15 points clear of Chastain, who is only 1 point clear of Wallace. And that is where the bubble is now. Now, there is the chance that over these next couple of races, Ty Gibbs, or God forbid even Martin Truex Jr., drops back and ends up losing out in terms of points. Though Truex looks pretty much a shoo-in on points at this stage. The person who's now the leader of the must-wins is Kyle Busch. He's 108 points out. Then Briscoe's 130 out. Like I said earlier in this video, it would be the case of something like divine intervention that would help Kyle Busch here. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching and joining, and it's great to have a NASCAR race on a Monday because it means that I'm more likely to be able to review it. So my review for Daytona will hopefully happen on the Saturday, but obviously it being a night race means that it might be the early hours of Sunday when the review itself actually gets posted. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope to see you around. Bye for now.